present the 1990 Boys Class A State Basketball Championship. Good morning, I'm Frank Massoni, and welcome to the state tournament. And then there were four. Four teams remain alive for today's semifinal round, including the undefeated and #1 ranked team. In game one today, the Wesclin Warriors, 28-3 on the season, will fly with the Eagles of Aurora Christian. They're 30-2. And then, top-ranked Prairie Central, 30-0, shoots it out with Norris City, 30-1. The Final Four is next.
The Illinois High School Association proudly presents another championship event. Your network sponsors are your local John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. The country companies. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And the dairy farmers of Wisconsin and Illinois. Whether you're on the court or off, milk, it does a body good.
Now with more on our first semifinal session, here are my colleagues, Mark Kimball and Coach Jim Mungie.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Assembly Hall in Champaign, the final day of the Class A basketball season. Jim Mungie, it should be a great semifinal round.
I think so, Art. We got four fine teams.
Well, as Frank mentioned in the open, Prairie Central is still top-ranked. Nobody's proven otherwise. They're still unbeaten. But, boy, a couple of dream matchups. Coming up, Trenton, Wesclin, Aurora Christian. Let's talk about that for just an instant. How do you feel about it?
Well, this is going to be a tough ball game. If Aurora Christian handles Trenton Wesclin pressure, I think that's going to be a key for them. Yep. And Davidson's going to be a load for Trenton Wesclin to handle inside.
Just talking to Dick Dorsey, the former great Hall of Fame coach at Aurora West, who helps with the Aurora Christian program, and he says the Aurora Christian guards must play better than they did yesterday or they'll be in trouble. I think there's no question about that. That's the first game. We'll have it for you very, very shortly. But first, let's pause for these messages.
We're standing with the head coach of the Aurora Christian Eagles, Don Davidson. And, Coach, let's start with your reaction to yesterday's victory over Farmington.
Well, we're just pleased to be in the second day of action. Defensively, I thought we played very well. Offensively, we were very tentative. We didn't really take control of the game at all until we started going to my son Mark late in the second half.
Your son really played an outstanding game yesterday, but his teammates didn't have one of their better ones. How will that change today?
We told the other kids that they have to make a contribution today, or I think we're going to be in big trouble. Because this team has enough size, I think, to take away the effect that Mark would have if he had to dominate the whole game.
What was the reason you think your team didn't perform up to its highest level yesterday?
I think we're just a little intimidated coming on the Assembly Hall floor for the first time. And even though we have 4 senior starters, it still is kind of an awesome feeling when they walk out on the court.
What's the tempo of this game going to be?
We have to, I think there's a couple key factors. We have to rebound with them. We're at a definite size disadvantage except for the center position. And their transition game is just excellent. We're going to have to get back on defense.
Congratulations and good luck today.
Thank you.
Don Davidson, the coach, and now the coach of Wesclin's Warriors, Paul Lusk. And Paul, congratulations on that win yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us your reaction to having 2 games to play today, and what did you tell your kids about this experience?
Well, it's tough, but again, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We're looking forward to it.
Tell us a little bit about your reaction to how you thought your team played yesterday compared to how were they at the top of their game?
No, I don't think we were at the top of our game. We played well, but we can play better.
In what areas can you improve today?
Well, I think we're doing a lot without Lusk and Brady. They haven't been probably themselves the last 2 games offensively, and I think when they play up to par, we can be even better.
What would you like the tempo of this game to be? Where would the score like to be if you could have your way?
Well, we like to get it up and down the floor. That's no secret. But, you know, we think we'd like it in the 70s and 80s if possible. But if not, we'll win in the 60s or whatever.
Coach, if there'd be 1 or 2 keys to the victory for Wesclin today, what would they be?
Oh, I don't know. I think just playing well as a team. You know, we're not worried about them. If we play well defensively and offensively, that's the key.
Your fans are hollering behind you. You've had great support throughout.
Oh, yeah, they're kind of wound up and have been for some time.
Good luck to you, Paul.
Thank you.
Paul Lust, the coach at Wesclin. Now let's go back to Art.
Okay, Frank, and there you see a little highlight in the background or two as Frank was talking to Paul Lust of the ball game yesterday. Mark Davidson had 29 points and 16 rebounds in Aurora Christian's 48-42 victory over Farmington yesterday. On the other hand, as Wesclin defeated Shelbyville 67-52, it was a story of balanced scoring, Jim, for the most part. In fact, the scoring leader with 21 in that ball game. I'm looking at the wrong sheet here very quickly. For Trenton Wesclin, scoring leader had 23. That was Paul Lust. But they had good, solid balance with 4 players in double figures. That always concerns a coach that has to defend that club, doesn't it?
Right, sure does. With Lusk and Brady and their point guard Brink and Fridley, they get some good point production out of the whole basketball team.
There's a look at the Trenton Wesclin Ball Club as they prepare to go to battle in this one in the upper bracket semifinal. It's interesting as we boil this thing down. We have from the south, Trenton Wesclin, and of course Norris City, Omaha infield. Aurora Christian is the lone northern Illinois representative. And then of course you have Prairie Central representing Central Illinois. So I guess we have a pretty good geographical balance as well as a talent balance, a competitive balance on this, the last day of the Class A season.
Certainly do, Art. That makes a great thing for the crowds. They come from all over the state and witness someone from their area.
Okay, it's time for the introduction to the rosters, the coaches, and the starting lineups. Now across the floor in the Assembly Hall to Steve Adams.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the presentation of the colors, we ask you to stand and join our guest soloist, Brian Weber, a student at Morris High School, and sing our national anthem, as it is played this morning by the pep band from Girard High School.
Tremendous job on singing our national anthem. We got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Of course, we had to have the presentation of colors here before we get into the starting lineup, the roster introductions, and so forth. A fine pep band from Girard High School here this afternoon at the Assembly Hall and throughout the day on this, the final day of the Class A campaign. And what a tremendous amount of color and excitement the pep bands have added to these shows as these tournaments have rolled along. Okay, I think we're set for the intros now. Back to Steve Adams.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the coaches and players for today's first semifinal round game featuring the Eagles of Aurora Christian and the Warriors of Trenton Wesclin. First for Aurora Christian, entering this game with a record of 30 wins and 2 losses, here is the head coach in his 13th season at the school, John Davidson. Assistant coaches, Jerry Gilsdorf, Dick Dorsey, and Wes Christian. And now the players. Number 15, a 5'9" senior, Kurt Bissett. Number 21, a 5'8" sophomore, A.E. Smith. Number 25, a 6'2" junior, Mike Jurassic. Number 31, a 5'8" junior, Mike Challey. Number 33, a 6'2" junior, Dan Brummel. Number 35, a 6'2" junior, Quinn Henning. Number 41, a 6'3" junior, Greg Schroeder. Number 51, a 5'10" junior, Bob Van Ploeg. Number 53, a 5'11" junior, Patrick Coleman. And number 55, a 5'8" junior, Jason Benson. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Eagles. At one forward, a 6'1" senior, 23, Louis Lambert.
Lambert averages 10 points a game, had 4 in the quarterfinals yesterday.
At the other forward, a 6-foot senior, 43, Tim Davey.
Davey, 7.2 point per game scorer.
At center, a 6'6" junior, 45, Mark Davidson.
Everybody's all-stater. As we mentioned, 29 points, 16 boards yesterday.
A 5'9" senior, number 11, Jake Chesney.
Chesney scored 10 in the Super, only 4 yesterday. Needs to get going today.
Is a 5'10" senior, number 13, Mike Mann.
Plays the point. 44% field goal shooter.
Eagles of Aurora Christian. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Warriors of Wesclin High School of Trenton, who entered this game with a record of 28-3. Here is the head coach in his 15th season at the school, Paul Lusk. Assistant coaches, Steve Lane, Jim Thompson, and Terry Drinkman. Now let's meet the players. Number 10, a 5'10" sophomore, Jeff Brokery. Number 12, a 5'10" sophomore, Matt Hempton. Number 22, a 6'3" junior, Chad Diders. Number 24, a 6'3" sophomore, Clay Mackey. Number 32, a 5'8" junior, Rob Wegman. Number 34, a 6'1" junior, Don Maddenwall. And number 52, a 6'8" sophomore, Doug Feld. Now, here is the starting lineup for Trenton Wesclin. At one forward, a 6'4" senior, number 40, Brent Brady.
Brady had a 17-point quarterfinal effort yesterday.
The other forward is a 6'2" senior, 44, Matt Ridley.
Ridley hammered in 20 in the win yesterday.
At center, a 6'2" senior, number 42, Matt Brandmeier.
Brandmeier, not a heavy scorer, was foul played yesterday afternoon.
At one guard, a 5'8" senior, number 30, Mike Brink.
Great hustler, 13-point effort in the quarter.
And the other guard is a 6'4" senior, number 50, Paul Luck.
The All-Stater, 14 points in the quarterfinals, 23
Those are
in
the
the
Warriors
Super.
of Trenton Wesclin. And now your officials for this first semifinal game, Clive Hornstein of Melbourne and Bob Ware of Lincoln.
All right, there you have the picture and one of your network sponsors, Country Companies. Okay, we're all set to go with this one. The upper bracket semifinal. The winner moves into the 8:15 title matchup tonight against the second game survivor this afternoon, Prairie Central or Norris City. Jim, both ball clubs know they're going to play 2 today. They'd like to play 2 with the championship on the line, wouldn't they?
They sure would. It's a tough struggle, but these young bodies can handle it, and all these kids want that chance.
Aurora Christian in their bright scarlet uniforms, trimmed in silver, gray, and white, and Trenton Wesclin in their whole white uniforms, trimmed in orange and black. The Warriors pitted here against the Eagles. Stepping in to jump is number 40 for Trenton Wesclin. That's Brent Brady. And, of course, it's Davison jumping for Aurora Christian. The opening jump ball really dramatically goes off to Wesclin. As bringing the ball across is Mike Brink. They work low to Lust. Lust power move inside. Can't get it home on the rebound effort. However, they do score. And that's Matt Brandmeier, who didn't score yesterday. Not a heavy scorer at all, but that time responded nicely, and Wesclin leads it by a score of 2-0. Aurora Christian's man faced a little bit of pressure, but he breaks it rather easily as he brings the ball up the floor. Man is number 13. Long backliner, eyes it at three-point range, did not take it off to Chesney. Chesney looks to Pavey in the corner. Pavey launches it inside the arc, spins out on it, has the rebound controlled by Matt Fridley. Fridley for the Warriors, down quickly to Paul Lust. Lust, the All-Stater, headed for the University of Iowa on a basketball scholarship. Right side of the floor to Brady. Brady drove the baseline, deflected out of bounds. I believe they're going to say by Davidson, and the basketball goes back to Trenton Wesclin. Warriors will inbound. We'll check with Jim here in a second. Get a look at those defenses. It looks to me like Wesclin started straight up man-to-man. I think Aurora Christian the same way, aren't they, Jim?
Well, Wesclin showed a little 2-1-2 match look, but Aurora Christian is definitely in a man-to-man.
Long-range bomb is up and in, and it's a three-pointer by Mr. Lambert. Louis Lambert, who was better known as a rebounder with 7 boards yesterday. Interesting comment from our observers in the truck, and I think they're right. The heat in the Assembly Hall, a very warm day. That basketball may be it's slippery, and maybe the floor also.
There's a lot of humidity in here, Art, and the ball yesterday looked a little slippery.
Man shot rolls out of there, and the rebound is controlled by Brent Brady. These guys out in the truck are pretty alert this early in the morning, aren't they? Lust on the move. There's a whistle after the basket, but it's because the net was tangled. No violation. Paul Lust can indeed play the game. There's no question about that. He's everybody's all-stater, and Wesclin has jumped to a margin of this one 7-0. On the drive, it's man. The shot spins out of there, and the rebound is controlled. Hook pass out by Brady. Brady to Lust. Lust dribbles behind his back down the lane. Pretty move. Shot off the glass. Won't go. Rebound. Lust had it. Lost it. Taken out. Rebound effort. No good. And Davidson pulls it down. We got a foul.
A lot of action underneath that basket, Art, and kids going to the board strong.
I've got to check on the basket. I gave it to Louis Lambert. That, of course, is not correct.
It was Brady.
Brady. Okay, Aurora Christian hasn't scored. The three-pointer went to Brent Brady instead, and so that'll square it away for you. 7 points on the board for Wesclin. Nothing for Aurora Christian. Down the floor quickly is Chesney. Chesney on the drive, and he is fouled. And I think the personal foul is going to go against Brent Brady. Who cut him off? Nope, didn't go to Brady either. It goes to Brandmeier. Foul number 2 on Matt Brandmeier. That's the trouble he got in yesterday early on. There's Don Davidson over on the Aurora Christian bench, his ball club. He probably wishes I was right on that call on Lambert. He'd like to have those 3 on the board, which are not there. Forgive the error. Free throw by Chesney. Won't go. He has one more effort.
They need to get the lid off here quick, Art, or next score, I think Coach is going to call a timeout if they can't get a couple points on the board.
Chesney misses the pair. Davidson goes for the rebound. The ball rolls out of bounds and will remain in the possession of Aurora Christian. So the Eagles will trigger it. It'll be Pavey making the play in from out of bounds. To Davidson. Here's Chesney. Chesney's going to try the 3. He got it. Well, that'll help. There's the three-pointer for real that time. Now, we know we're right on that one. That goes to the Aurora Christian column at 7-3. But down quickly on the drive, Wesclin counters with the little pull-up by Brent Brady. Brady with 5 quick points. And it's a 9-3 ball game. Here is Brady with a great save on the baseline. As you noted, he bounced the ball right off the All-Stater Mark Davidson of Aurora Christian. And so Wesclin will make the play in from out of bounds. The trigger man will be Matt Fridley, number 44. Fridley looking, gets the ball to Paul Lust. Lust sliding the baseline, slips inside of Lambert, but I think he stepped on the base. He did.
Wesclin's definitely got it turned up a notch today, Art. They're putting a little pressure on. Once the ball's inbounded, they pull it off, and they're going to the basket strongly.
Chesney breaking down. He's got Man free, but Man didn't take the shot as he circled out of traffic quickly. Man's number 13. Chesney's number 11. All right, there's Man. They have Lambert trying to post inside. Davidson on the perimeter for 3. Won't go. Lambert with the board was fouled. He's a great rebounder, and the foul goes to Matt Brandmeier, and he already has 3 quick personals. You can see Matt there. He does not look like a happy camper at the moment as he rolls away from the play.
Here's a replay of that three-pointer. Lambert goes up, gets a nice rebound in traffic, and Brandmeier smacks him across the arm trying to block that shot.
And it's his 3rd, a personal foul.
Chad Diders in the game for Wesclin.
Diders played a lot yesterday, Frank, because of Brandmeier's foul problems, obviously. On the move, there's Brady. This shot caroms off high, but Brady gets his own board, swept back to the hoop and was fouled. They're sagging in. Helping out was Mike Mann. That's the first foul on Aurora Christian. Both of these teams, of course, have excellent three-point potential. Wesclin, however, leading by a score of 9-3. The only points for Aurora Christian on the three by Jake Chesney, and going to the free throw line is Brett Brady. He'll be shooting a pair. Brady's a good, solid basketball player. Played very well yesterday. Brady shoots 57% from the field, almost 58. 85% free throw shooter. Point per game average on the season is 20. 17 points yesterday, 14 points in the super sectional. So here's a kid that has had a pretty good season overall.
He's just overshadowed a little bit by Paul Lust, but excellent player.
There's your personal fouls by team. Wesclin's picked up 3, and they're all on the same player, Matt Brandmeier. 10-3, Warriors. Rebound, boy, you can hear the ball slap from Davidson as Mark went high in the air and speared it out of there. Aurora Christian down 7 in the early going. Chesney looking inside the defense, which is a zone for Trenton Wesclin. Davidson's going to try the 3. Got it. Nice to have a kid 6'6". He can stick out on the perimeter, and not too many people are going to block a three-point shot by a 6'6" outside player.
Well, that's for sure, but he's got excellent shooting stretch out there.
Lust loses the basketball, thrown away by Louis Lambert. Lambert perhaps is the best pure leaper on the floor. Down quickly is Man off to Davidson. Davidson pulls it up at three-point range again. This one won't go, but the rebound taken away by Brady. Brady deflects the ball over here quickly to Brink. Down the floor on the drive is Lust. Lust down the lane, in and out. Rebound, follow, short poke, good. Gives the field goal on the follow-up effort to Chad Deiters. Deiters is 6'3", 165, a junior, a mighty valuable reserve. Wesclin by 6 at 12-6 with 4:19 showing in the game's first period. There's Chesney. He was going to try the 3. The ball slipped out of his hands. We were referring to that early on. Basketball does appear a little bit slippery. Here is Man. Man right back to Chesney. Chesney at three-point range. No good. Chesney fights for the rebound. Batted back out front, and the Eagles stay alive as the ball goes out to a Man.
Hard twice yesterday. Man told the official the ball was slippery.
And I think it may be a little more so today, Frank, apparently. Down the floor is Lust after the miss by the Eagles at the other end.
Not always 70 degrees in Champaign and March.
No, and you don't always play at 11:15 in the morning either. I don't know if that's going to do with slipperiness, and as we see it, another three-pointer by Brent Brady, his second here in the opening quarter. 9-point lead to Trenton Wesclin. Boy, they're playing well right now, Jim Mungie.
They certainly are, and they say Aurora Christian's going to have to find the range consistently.
Lambert inside, likes it in. They alley-oop it to Louis Lambert.
I think the difference in them offensively today against the zone, they're a little more patient, and they're looking for the better shot.
Aurora Christian's got to play a very heady game against Wesclin. Of course, that's always true in tournament play. Wesclin the same way, but they got a lot of guns from the side. Count it again, another 3. Again, Brent Brady, his third of the opening quarter. We've got an 18-8 ball game. And now you see Paul Lust talking, I think we can say, rather enthusiastically to Chad Deiters on the sideline. On the drive, it's the Man on the pull-up. Not a very well-advised shot because right in his lap out there was Brady with the block. 10-point lead, Trenton Wesclin. Here's Brady. Brady backdoor, Lust foul by Lambert. Lambert got up all right, but over the back of Paul Lust, and Lust will be at the line.
That was a great pass, and Lust made a good, strong cut to the basket. That's going to trouble Aurora Christian all day. The quickness from the wing area by this Wesclin team.
Another look at it here, Jim.
There's the pass by Brady. Lust takes it up strong, and Lambert gets him from the back.
18-8 ball game. Wesclin with a 10-point lead. Don Davidson looking rather composed right now over on the Aurora Christian bench. You can bet he isn't. Good look at Paul Lust. Lust makes the free throw. On the season, Lust with a season-long average of 29.1 points per game. First-team AP All-Stater. Number 7 all-time scorer, by the way, in the state of Illinois. As Lust nets a pair, 2:52 to go in the quarter. Official timeout. Wesclin leads it by 12 at 20-8. And one of your network sponsors, John Deere. All right, we're going to see the alley-oop pass from Man here for one of the few highlights, frankly, Aurora Christian's had in the first quarter.
Deep behind the zone to Lambert. Nice way to attack the zone, get an easy layup.
Yeah, Lambert slipped just about half a step behind Lust. Can handle the ball very well on a good pass. Well, we still see the full court pressure, 2-2-1 type of alignment for Wesclin right now. And they kind of fall back out of it, not pressing real intently, although as I say that, Brink slides up on man defensively, so I think they're ready on an errant pass. They're to ball hawk a little bit. Aurora Christian is man to Chesney. Back out to man. There's the long bomb by Davidson, nothing but net. From out of the twilight zone, Mark Davidson with his second three-pointer makes it 20-11. Davidson, a brilliant player, no question about that. He's back next year. Here's Luck, juggle the ball, gets it out to Brink. Brink for three. I'll tell you, these kids were a relatively early morning ball game shooting the lights out. 23-11. Wesclin by 12. Chesney comes up. Brink tried to sneak up from behind. Number 30 couldn't get the steal. And man on the dribble as he passes to Chesney. Chesney inside the arc. They work now to Quinn Henning, who has come on, and Lambert with the shot, which wouldn't go. Nice rebound by Chesney on the move as he picked the ball up in the paint. Out to Davidson. Two guys on him as he launches the three. It won't go, and the rebound controlled. Pulled out of there by Trenton Wesclin in the person of Diders. Down quickly, Lusk misses. He follows, he misses again. He follows again and misses. Finally, Davidson yanks it out. Three cracks at it for Paul Lusk.
Paul Lusk is snake-bit in this tournament. He just cannot get the ball to go down.
Man was going to take the shot out to Chesney. Chesney gets the board again. Chesney's been pretty adept at getting that long rebound. And what do we got? A technical apparently, or a timeout. See what the call is going to be.
It's a technical foul on Paul Lusk, I believe.
I think Coach Lusk was upset on that first layup by his son. He got whacked pretty good under there, according to him.
Well, indeed you are correct. Lusk picks up the technical foul. I didn't know if Clive Hornstein was signaling he wanted a timeout to discuss under the scorer's table or technical. Obviously, it is a technical, and you know who's going to be at the line. Mr. Davidson nets it.
Well, if you're going to get one, you might as well get it when the other team has the ball because you're going to lose possession anyway, so you hope he misses the free throws.
Spoken like a coach who has been in that situation. Second throw, up and down. Experience is the best teacher in the gym.
Well, he waited till they brought the ball down the floor. You noticed that, Art.
I did. 23-13 as this could be a 4 or even a 5-point play for Aurora Christian. Man pivots around, he pumps it, and the rebound pulled down by Brett Brady. And a foul on Mark Davidson. First foul on Davidson, team foul number 3 on Aurora Christian.
Here's a replay on that last foul inside on the rebound. Brady got the ball, and Davidson come from the back and just caught him across the arm.
Up for Trenton Wesclin is Mike Brink. Brink to Friendly. Friendly back to Brink. There's another one.
Well, that string music out of Brink. He doesn't miss from the three.
That's the 5th three-pointer for Trenton Wesclin here in the first quarter. They have doubled the score, 26-13 over Aurora Christian. Trenton Wesclin, number 5 in the final AP poll, number 6 according to UPI. There's a shot by man. It will not go. Scrambling for the loose basketball is Matt Fridley. Down quickly to Brady. Brady hook pass in the corner to Brink. Brink's shot is blocked, but Fridley hauls it down right back out front. Here's the bounce pass off to Lusk as Lusk comes out of traffic. Let's see, where's Brady? Brady's well out on the floor, too, as they're going to run it down now and play for the good shot with only 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Wesclin leading 26-13.
Art, I've seen this team now 4 times, and at the end of every period, they'll take that last minute and play for that one shot.
Play very, very well. Brink against the double team, lost the ball to man. All right, here's man with the basketball as ample time for Aurora Christian to get off a decent shot. We're down to 9 seconds. Davidson back to man. Backcourt play still just a bit tentative for the Eagles. Louis Lambert in the left corner. His pass is an errant one, stolen by Brink. Brink throws it down the floor almost. Well, he got it off the backboard at the buzzer, but that's it. After one, Trenton Wesclin rolling. The Warriors on top 26-13. And one of your network sponsors, the dairy farmers of Wisconsin and Illinois. Okay, let's take a look at the map here in the Assembly Hall. There you see the 4 remaining lights flashing. Trenton Wesclin way down in the southwest portion of the state. That's Norris City south of them. And then, of course, way up north, the northernmost entry, Aurora Christian, and the other Prairie Central. As we're set to resume play, second quarter, the basketball belongs to Aurora Christian.
Art, they've got Mike Jurasek, 6'2 junior in the game for the Eagles.
First time he has played in the tournament. He's not getting the ball game yesterday. Of course, it was a narrow victory as far as Aurora Christian was concerned, and Jurasek has come on. Here's the feed to Davidson. Davidson goes low to Lambert. Nice move by Lambert. Nice assist engineered by Davidson.
Looks like Coach Davidson made a little change. He moved Mark in at the high post and trying a little high-low action.
Well, the return shot by Deiters did not go. It's 26-15, and I would imagine the strategy of the Aurora Christian bench is, hey, you chip away at this lead now. A very, very hot shooting ball club in the first quarter, certainly Trenton Wesclin, particularly at long range. Here's Jurasek on the perimeter. He got the three. Well, good substitution, Frank.
Welcome to Champaign. I think we see why the young man came in the ball game.
26-18. From the side, Lusk, ball rattles around. Jurasek got a hand on the ball and deflected it out of bounds. 7 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the half. We're just underway, of course, in the game's second period. But in the first minute of the second quarter, a little more life out of this Aurora Christian ball club. They scored 5 quick points. Mr. Lusk, top of the circle. It won't go, and Louis Lambert tracks her down to the baseline. Louis almost teetered out of bounds with the basketball in his possession.
He was checking his feet like a tightrope walker and got rid of the ball before he fell backwards.
Bringing the ball up here is Chesney from the side for 3. Gentlemen, I don't want to belabor the point. Anybody shoot a two-pointer anymore in this game? 26-21 inside off the glass, and it is a good old-fashioned two for Brent Brady, who does a little bit of everything out here.
Whenever you see a dunk, they'll probably count that as 2.
That maybe should be 3, degree of difficulty, huh? Particularly in high school. Here's a little hooking foul out front. This man tried to penetrate. And the foul is going to go, I believe, against Sprittley. It does.
Each of these teams, Art, has 4 players that have 40% ability at the three-point range or more, so that's pretty impressive outside shooting.
That's amazing. As a team, 403 Trenton Wesclin from three-point range, and as a team, 433 for Aurora Christian. Those are mind-boggling statistics. 28-21 Wesclin. That's a long bomb by Chesney. Rolls out of there and off the board, stolen back. Here's Lambert. Lambert to Jurasek. He is hammered. Jurasek to the hoop, and he drew the foul, but good from Brent Brady.
I think the Wesclin crowd won't agree with the official. It looked like a good clean block to all of them underneath that basket.
We're going to see it again. You could call it right here.
There's a loose ball on the floor, and Lambert makes a nice pass. Here comes Brady across. Gets an awful lot of basketball, Art.
Yeah, got a little wrist, too, though, I think.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
This young man, Mike Jurasek's been a good lift off the bench for Christian.
Well, I guess. Instant offense, huh? See what Jurasek has done on the season. He has not been a frequent performer. He's shooting 48% from the field, 67% at the line, 1.3 scoring average. Second throw, Karam's away and knocked out of bounds. And one reason it went out of bounds is Davidson made contact there and picked up the foul. 28-22 is our score. This game has tightened up considerably. It was a 13-point margin, remember, at the quarter at 26-13.
Well, like you say, those three-pointers can change things in a big hurry.
It's only the 4th team foul in Aurora Christian, so Trenton Wesclin goes on the bonus, the next foul. Out front is Mike Brink. Brink off to Brent Brady. Brady down low to Lusk. Lusk power move. This time he got it. You get the ball and the ball Lusk in there that close. It's almost a certainty, although he's had a couple of them roll out this afternoon. I guess we're still in the morning hours. 30-22. Davidson forces it up there, won't go. Ball snatched out by Brent Brady. Brady, 6'4", 180-pound senior to Lusk. Lusk to the hoop, drives down the floor. Misses a layup, but Davidson, I think, may have picked up the foul. If he did, that's their 3rd on Davidson.
It was Davidson.
Well, there's a big foul call. That's number 3.
There's a replay on that last play. Davidson powers strong to the hole, and Lusk, rather, and Davidson comes across the arm on the shot.
It looked like Davidson realized, hey, I've got 3 fouls. I'm going to pull back, but too late. And Paul Lusk makes him pay the price for it as he rings the bell on the free throw. Wesclin has it back out to a 9-point lead at 31-22. Second throw by Lusk. Rebound, Davidson. Boy, Davidson is aroused, isn't he? He snatches the ball out of there. You can hear the slap very audibly in our microphone pick up on the backboards here in the Assembly Hall.
Aurora Christian bench has signaled to Mark Davidson that he does have 3 and he used his head.
Here's the long-range jumper, Jurasek. It won't go. Rebound tipped out by Lambert, but stolen by Brady. Britt Brady down the floor to Luck. Oh, great pass over to Brady. A little 2-on-1 situation, and Brady got it. Off the assist from Paul Luck, 33-22. Brady already with 16 points.
He's just playing outstandingly this morning. He's on the boards. He's running the floor well. He's doing a heck of a job.
Chesney, number 11. You see him deep in the corner. He's going to try the three-pointer. He's not going to get it. And suddenly, Aurora Christian has cooled off, but good. The rebound to Brady. Brady up the floor to Fridley. Fridley gets the ball down low. Here is the poke. No good as the shot rolls off by Chad Deiters. And Aurora Christian brings the ball back up. They're slowing the tempo just a little bit themselves. Of course, the press is off right now as Paul Lusk has taken the heat off defensively. They're falling back in their zone as man fires away. And right now, they can't throw it in the ocean, kind of Aurora Christian. They just gone ice cold from the field. Drive by Brink. Double pump as he goes down the lane, and he drew the foul.
You know, there's one disadvantage to the three, Art. They make long rebounds, and we tell our kids long rebounds make fast break layups for your opponent.
Boy, they sure do. And man has picked up his second personal foul. Quinn Henning comes in the ball game, replacing Mark Davidson, who really looks like he's spent over there. Davidson is it's a very, very warm day in the assembly hall. And going to the line is number 30, Mike Brink. Brandmeier comes back in as he replaces Chad Deiters. Brink is one of those blue-collar type players, isn't he? He just gets the job done for you.
Certainly does. Another one, Fridley, we haven't heard much from today so far. He's done a great job super sectional in the first game, but they don't need him today, so they're letting the other players do their thing.
Brink averages 10.5 a ball game from that off-guard slot. His second throw is up and in. I guess you'd consider Lutz their point guard. I'm not really sure. He plays all over the place. 35-22, back to a 13-point lead. Here's a shot by Mann. A nice move by Mike Mann down the line. Picture pull-up jumper. He's passed up 2 or 3 of those and dished off passes after reaching the height of his jump, and I imagine that Don Davis would like to have him take that shot. Here's Brink bobbing and weaving. You can see he handled the ball pretty well. He posted up low to Brandmeier. Brandmeier comes right back out front. Here's Fridley, and he got it. Three-pointer. So Fridley shows he can shoot on the perimeter as well. 38-24. Trenton Wesclin with the big lead. I would say a surprisingly big margin in this ball game. Aurora Christian came in ranked number 7, the final Associated Press poll, number 5 by UPI, compared to a 5 and 6 rating for Wesclin. The shot is no good. The rebound, Jurasek had it momentarily, deflected out by Brandmeier, and the basketball now goes back to the Eagles as Tim Pavey, a 6-foot, 183-pound senior, will play it in. There you see Coach Don Davidson with that bright scarlet jacket. Here's the feed low, left-hand hook layup, kind of a half hook if anything, by Quinn Henning rings the bell.
Heck of a feed by Chesney.
The other guards are playing better totally, I think they did yesterday, but of course Davidson has been much better corralled. The long shot by Brady. Brady does not hit them all. You may have the indication that he does, but he finally missed one out there. 12-point lead.
Straight up.
To Wesclin, inside Henning. Henning rolls it up. No good. Pavey with the tip. It won't go. Quinn Henning gets it back. Twist inside of Lusk. It won't go again. Rebound scramble for, and Fridley comes out with it. Matt Fridley, they get it off to Lusk. Lusk on the move straight away. He airs it. Basketball goes back to Aurora Christian. Paul Lusk's dad, Paul Sr., not overjoyed with that pull-up jumper.
Not at all.
There he is.
We got a timeout, I think, Art.
Okay, timeout in the Assembly Hall, 2:51 for the half. Wesclin on the lead by 12 at 38-26, and let's pause for these messages. So far, we've had 6 3-pointers for Trenton Wesclin in the ball game, and Aurora Christian has hit 5. So we have a total of 11 3-point buckets here in the first half of the game with 2:51 to go in the half.
Remember in the interview with Coach Tom Welch at Florida, he said there's only 2 shots, a 3-pointer and a layup. Yeah. So sometimes the layup turns into a 3-point play, too. So I guess the coaches are getting piggish. They're going for 3 every time. Eddie
Smith checks in. Eddie is a 5-foot 8-inch, 150-pound sophomore for Aurora Christian, number 21. As Mann brings the ball across. As now it looks like we have straight-up man-to-man for Trenton Wesclin. They do change defenses on you. Here's the jumper by Pavey. It's short. That had been partially deflected by Paul Lusk out there. Down the floor is Brink. Brink to Lusk. Lusk right to the glass. This time he got it. His dad really, that's going to count. Offensive foul on Lusk to charge. His first foul. I was going to say, there you see Paul Lusk, young Paul,
Here's a replay on that, Art. Lusk gets the pass from Brink, makes a nice move, goes around his man, takes it up strong. He does charge.
He and his dad had a lengthy discussion during the timeout. That was a Lusk-to-Lusk conversation.
I think that said, son, get aggressive, take the ball to the hole.
He did. That was man with the pull-up for Aurora Christian.
All coaches in the tournament can say that, and they really mean it literally.
All of the finalists today, all 4 teams, a father-son combination. The Suns standout players on all 4 ball clubs. In fact, all state players. 38-28. Here is Paul Lusk. Coach's son pulls it up. And it's unusual. This year, we don't have 4 or 5 coaches' sons who are point guards. We have some guys who play other places. Here's Man. Man brings it across. Well, of course, we have Jerry Tidwell from Prairie Central who proves the rule, right? So many coaches' sons, seriously, have been very fine playmakers, ball handlers. Here is Man. Man on the drive, in the paint. Well, looks like Mike Mann starting to light it up a little bit, Jim.
I think that makes Coach Davidson happy. He's been a scorer throughout the season, been a little quiet in the tournament. He needs that scoring.
Pretty good basketball team, and remember, they're making this run now without Davidson, who's on the bench riding with 3 fouls. And I think more than the foul problem, I think the kid is just tired. There's Brady on the perimeter. Quinn Henney was up over the rim, couldn't grab the basketball, but off the floor, Man gets it.
You know what, the rest of his ball club seems to rebound better when Davidson in there. Without him in there, they feel he's going to get every rebound when he's in the game.
Yeah, well, why not? You know, he's so reliable, such a vacuum cleaner on the boards, and these other guys are working very, very hard right now. There's Jurasek on the perimeter. It won't go. The rebound hauled out by Lusk. Lusk, a whale of a player, though, isn't he? Brady to Lusk. Oh, great defensive play by Smith when he committed the foul. Eddie Smith, you talk about an all-out effort.
He came from nowhere to get out there and get his hand on that basketball. Unfortunately, got a hand on Paul Lusk.
Nice standing ovation for Smith over there in the Aurora Christian.
Here comes the pass for Brady. A little behind him and reach in and foul.
He saved the basket there. But Mr. Lusk goes to the line where he is 3 out of 4. And on the campaign, Paul Lusk shoots free throws at a 71% clip. Now the leaper comes back in, Louis Lambert and Pavey leaves. So you have Lambert and Henning, Jurasek up front for Aurora Christian with Mann and Smith at the guard. The Wesclin lineup is still Fridley, Brady, Lusk, Brink, and also out there for Trenton Wesclin now is Don Battenwald, making his first appearance in the ballgame.
Well, that puts Aurora Christian with the 3 starters on the bench at this stage of the half.
Second throw by Lusk will not go. The rebound, Quinn Henney. Henney played well yesterday, fellas, you may remember.
Did a good job on the boards yesterday.
Sure did. All right, here's Man. Man has the ball stripped away by Brink, and then he fouls Brink. A little bit of retaliation. Great play by Mike Brink. It really was, and Mike Mann called for his 3rd foul. So you got Davison and Mann, 2 key members of this Aurora Christian club, riding with 3 personals with 42.2 seconds left to go in the first half here in the Assembly Hall. Stick around at halftime. That sparkling personality, James Albrecht, will be with us with a multitude of interesting conversations.
See, we got Deiters in the game for Paul Lusk. I think Coach Lusk just going to set the young man down and let him get a little extra rest before halftime.
Okay, the free throw is good by Mike Brink, and he'll have 1 more throw. Second throw by Brink is up and off. No good. And the rebound is hauled down by Louis Lambert. Lambert gets it out of there. Down to Chesney. Chesney to Smith in the corner for the jumper. Got it. Eddie Smith hits it out of the corner to make it now a 40-32 ball game. Wesclin still with the 8-point lead, but this kind of patchwork lineup now for Aurora Christian. I'm sure they've used this combination before during the season, but it's not their regular lineup, as Jim points out. Battling right back with 15 seconds to go in the half. Brink out front. They're going to run it down again, Jim, which, as you say, is their normal policy and procedure.
Look for Brady to take the shot.
Brady to Brink. Brink glanced up at the clock and now goes down the lane. Rebound, jump ball as Henning ties him up, and that may be a big defensive maneuver as it turns out because they didn't get that final bucket to go up 10. So at halftime, we got an 8-point ball game with Wesclin on the lead, 40-32, and one of your network sponsors is Country Company. This is the Country Company's halftime report, brought to you by the Country Companies. When it matters most, the country's behind you. Now here's Jim Albrecht.
Thank you very much, Art. And with me right now, a member of the media for very, very many years. His name is Dan Snaker from WHCO Radio out of Sparta, and also joining me to my far right, Assistant Executive Secretary of the IHSA, Mr. Jim Flynn. The reason Dan is with us and the reason Jim is with us is a magic number called 3,000. At this very moment, Dan is broadcasting his 3,000th game, and you have a presentation for him, Jim.
Dan, it's a pleasure. You've been here for many, many March Madness state final tournaments, and your station is proud of your accomplishment, and we're proud of your contribution to March Madness. And on behalf of the WHCO organization, I'd like to present you with this special plaque for your 3,000th broadcast.
Jim, thank you so very much. I'll tell you what, the IHSA has done so much for students in Illinois and have always been so cooperative with us, and it's just a real pleasure to be able to be here, and I thank you so much for this.
Dan, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions while Jim scoots out of here. Let's go back to the first one. How did that all happen? Did you want to be a broadcaster when you started out?
27 years ago, I was a scorekeeper for the Steelville High School, and WHCO was going to start doing more ball games, and they were looking for somebody to do them, and they asked me if I'd be interested. That was my first ball game down at Valmar, Illinois, and there's been a lot of them since then.
In 3,000 games, there has to be a bucket full or a court full of memories. Any one particular game or two or three that stick in your mind as maybe the greatest games you ever called?
There are a lot of them. I think there may be basically state tournaments. The one where Lawrenceville won in '76, and the all-tournament scoring record was scored. I think the one where Dave Robish from Springfield, and at that time we were on the end of the floor broadcasting, and I had a chance to be right behind the basket and watch Dave Robish in action, and he was just a tremendous athlete. But, you know, there's a lot of ball games, but there's so many of them, I wouldn't even begin to highlight one. I'd make somebody mad.
The game has changed. How has this announcer changed over the years? I know when you first start out, you have a vision of how a game is supposed to go. Over the years, how have you changed? Was it hard not to be a fan? How do you separate the broadcaster from the fan? That's probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it is one of the difficult things to do, and what I have done is I have just tried to train myself. We cover so many area schools. This year I've done 90 ball games over the winter. You know, when you're covering all your local area teams, you know there's no way you can be partial because you'll be doing two of them tonight and maybe one of those and another one the next night. So just train yourself to be just nothing more than a sportscaster, and you forget who's on the floor and you just do the ball game.
You keep young watching these kids, don't you?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It keeps you going, it keeps you excited, and I just enjoy each year more and more.
Dan, congratulations on number 3,000.
Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it.
That is Dan Snaker of WHCO Radio out of Sparta, his 3,000th game here this afternoon. We're coming back, but first this from the IHSA.
Well, here we are at halftime of a 32 ball game. 40-32 is what I'm trying to say, Jim Mungie. Oh, getting late in the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
What's going to happen in the second half? Quite seriously, Aurora Christian's got Mark Davidson riding with 3 fouls. He got Mann with 3. They had Davidson out during a pretty good stretch run the last 2.5 minutes of the half.
Those two players, they need to keep their scoring alive, and if they can, you know, find the hole a little more consistently than they did in the first half, they'll be all right. I think their guards have held up under the pressure now, and now it's just a matter of getting some confidence in the offense.
What about the Trenton Wesclin performance in the second period? Did you see any lessening of intensity there? They came out of the blocks with a tremendous drive and desire at the start of the ball game.
I think when that emotion wears off, it's natural. You see just a little less intensity, but I think the humidity has a lot to do with it. It's going to affect both teams, but I think Coach Lusk is a little unhappy with the offensive schematic, and I know he's unhappy with his son, and he's a caliber player, and he'll come back and play better.
Did you think Davidson looked pretty tired when he went out?
Yes, he certainly did. He hung around the perimeter, and he didn't really play as actively as he did yesterday.
Here's the stats on the first half of the ball game, and let's see what we have here for Aurora Christian. Let's take a look at them first 12 of 35 in the field. And, of course, that is not the shooting pace they'd like to have by any means, 29%. On the other hand, Trenton Wesclin goes 13 of 31. I would have guessed maybe Wesclin was shooting a shade better than that, 42% on the first half of the ball game. Free throws, Wesclin's had some help at the line, haven't they? 8 of 12, 3 of 6 for Aurora. Free throw percentage you see in there. The three-point buckets are interesting. Wesclin 6 of 9. 6 of 9. That's sizzling shooting down here with all the pressure in the world on you.
That's excellent.
5 of 13 for Aurora. Then the rebounds. Wesclin with a 25-19 edge, and that's rather significant, I would think.
That was one of Coach Davidson's concerns early, if you notice in his pregame. He was worried about the rebounding.
And you notice how the turnover, despite a lot of defensive pressure, really isn't much of a factor.
No, 3 and 2, that's a good half for either ball club, and especially in a game that means as much as this one.
There's a good look at number 30, who, of course, is Mike Brink. Gets the ball off here to Brent Brady.
Brady with that nice stroke, and that's one of his threes that he had in that first half. Nothing but net.
Now we're going to see a maneuver by Aurora Christian at the other end. Here's a three-pointer by Davidson. No.
Same way, mirror image, left-handers on both ends and burying that three-pointer.
Well, I guess, and that's been the big story of the ball game, just some sensational three-point shooting. And let's take a look at the team scoring figures. We're going to have those for you in just a second for Aurora Christian. Davidson leading the way with 8. Chesney has 6, and Mann has 6. Those are your 3 leaders. No one really lightened it up too much. However, on the Trenton Wesclin side of the card, Brent Brady with 16 points. Brink has 9. Lusk has 8. So those are 3 kind of perimeter ball players and doing very, very well. So at halftime, it's 40-32 Wesclin. Let's pause for these messages. Well, we're set to go with the second half, Jim, and be interesting to see what that foul column does. There you see the drummer for the Sherrard Pep Band. Hard at work down here on a warm day in Champaign. It's supposed to be in the 70s here today. I don't know what it was when we walked in, but the humidity is very, very noticeable here on the floor of the Assembly Hall.
Those kids work hard, too, Art. They're an excellent band, and they're really perspiring over there in their corner of the gym.
In sharp contrast to the girls' state tournament, when the Batavia Pep Band had trouble getting down here because of the ice storm up in the northern part of the state. So, something about Illinois. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, huh?
That's it.
All right, here, directly in front of us, Mr. Lusk makes the play in from out of bounds, and Trenton Wesclin has the first possession of the second half. Off to Mike Brink. Breaking the right side to Fridley. Fridley being covered by Mann. Mann, number 13, he's riding with 3 fouls. So is Davidson. They're both in there right now. There's your turnaround by Brady. Spins out on, and, on the rebound effort. Fridley went back to the glass. But they're going to call a foul. I think it's on Mann. The way his man's expression, he is not too happy with the situation, and that's exactly who the foul's on, his 4th.
That would be a big loss because he's penetrated the seams and made some good dish-offs and hit a couple buckets for this ball club. They need him in the game.
Yeah, he's going to play him with 4, apparently. Well, not for long. Smith's going to come in. Right side to Brady. They work. Oh, here is Lusk. Lusk kind of pulls there and then straightens up and hits the soft jumper. Lusk with 10 points. And the score now moves to 42-32. It's back to the 10-point cushion for Trenton Wesclin. Their biggest lead has been 13. Right down the lane, Chesney. Nobody cut Jake Chesney off.
Right, Brantmeyer was in the middle, and he's got 3 fouls, and I think he just got tired of sitting on the bench. He wants to play.
Okay, he may get on the bench. He's going to play better defense.
That's probably true.
Brady inside. Brady has had a magnificent ball game with his 17th and 18th point on that layup. And here is the inbound play by Aurora Christian. Brink almost caused enough confusion there to come up with an interception on the turnover, but not quite. Man to Davidson. Davidson trying to bring this club back soft. Left-handed jumper. Nice play. He's got a great touch, hasn't he?
He does. Excellent touch. He might have got away with a little travel when he turned around, but he knew what to do when he squared up and faced that basket.
44-36. The lead belonging to Trenton Wesclin. Fridley faces the hoop and drills it. Matt Fridley with only 2 buckets. 1 is a 3 as a 5-point tabulation. And Wesclin hanging on to the 10-point margin. Cross court to Chesney. Chesney, he drills. Jake Chesney with a couple of buckets here in the 3rd period to go with a pair of 3s in the first half. He suddenly has a 10-point tabulation. Back down to 8 points. But right now, Aurora Christian needs to stop, and they don't get it this trip as Fridley slides behind the defense for a virtual layup.
There's that slippery ball again, Art.
There's the steal as Lusk goes to the basket and was fouled by Louis Lambert, his 2nd.
I think Coach Davidson's going to get a timeout here. He wants to keep this game in control.
All right, timeout is going to be taken by Aurora Christian with 6:05. We're just barely into the game's 3rd period. It's 48-38 Wesclin, and one of your network sponsors, the dairy farmers of Wisconsin and Illinois. Now there's a look at the Assembly Hall with the score. 10-point lead to Trenton Wesclin. And there you see 3rd period shooting, Jim. Both clubs pretty hot right now.
3 for 3.
Yeah. Wesclin now are 4 for 5, and I was really a little surprised at the first half shooting. I knew Aurora Christian had a very cold stretch there. They only went 29% as we showed you, but only 42% for Trenton Wesclin. Three-point shooting, however, was much better than that.
Right.
Paul Lusk at the line, awarded a pair. This is prior to the timeout. One more throw coming to Lusk. Mentioned this yesterday. 14 times he has had 30 points or more. He's had 16 rebounds in a game twice this season. Second throw is up and in for Lusk as the score now goes back to a 12-point lead. Wesclin's biggest margin has been 13. They're up 12 at 50 to 38. As Jake Chesney brings the ball up to Davidson in the middle, knocked away. Lambert with the retrieval on the baseline, works off on the side to Jurasek. His shot will not go. Rebound, great save by Brandmeier, but Jurasek with the intercept and the bucket.
Notice that ball's still slippery, and Brandmeier, when he hits the floor, slips in. Humidity and perspiration out there.
50 to 40. Wesclin leads it by 10. Brady to Brink. Brink's long three. Won't go. Rebound Brady in the paint. It won't go. You can hear a little contact underneath. That trip is coming out of traffic. The littlest guy on the floor. Eddie Smith at 5'8" dug the ball out of there, and Wesclin goes back on defense, still in their zone. As Jurasek holding high to Chesney. Chesney at three-point range. No question about that one. Jake can pull it up too, can he?
Yes, he sure can. He came alive just toward the end of the first half.
That's his third three-pointer, 50 to 43, and countering is Lusk. Paul Lusk right back down with his pull-up three-pointer. 53-43. It seems whenever Aurora Christian has made a move, it's been a counter move and a successful one by the Warriors this morning. There's Smith. Well, he comes back with a routine two-pointer.
That was a 2.5-pointer, I think.
He was close, wasn't he?
Yeah, he set those feet a little farther back.
53-45. Paul Lusk in the paint, whirls and misses for Wesclin, but drew the foul. Against Paul Lusk, you have to do something. You've either got to block the shot, foul him, or give him the bucket. Foul is on Louis Lambert, his third. But he really forces the issue, doesn't he?
Yes, they take the ball very aggressively to the whole ball club does, and Lusk and Brady especially.
There's a look at Paul Lusk and also the countenance of Clive Hornstein. They're one of the officials. At the free throw line, Mr. Lusk, and he drilled it. So Paul Lusk has gone 7 out of 9 at the line on the morning, 54-45. That's afternoon now. Second throw up and in. 7 after 12. We're now an afternoon ball game, gentlemen. 55-45. Wesclin leading by 10 as Jake Chesney trying to initiate the attack off to Smith. Here's Davidson. Davidson whirling, shooting with the left hand. It won't go. Lusk tipped the rebound. Set it up for Matt Fridley, who grabbed it. Here's Paul Lusk. Watch Lusk try to move. Now he's going to take the three. He got it. Not quite a three. Just barely inside the arc. So it's the Paul Lusk show in the third quarter for Trenton Wesclin.
You're starting to feel it right now, Art.
Wesclin back to a 12-point lead. They just refused to buckle. They would allow the Eagles to get back within 8. That's about it. Here's Davis on the drive. His shot was blocked, stolen by Paul Lusk. Lusk brings it down for the Warriors on the drive. Pretty good contact out front. He still gets the pass over to Brink on the baseline. Could have had a foul called out front. Here's Brady. Brady with the left hand. Well, Brady now with a 20.
Wesclin's a good passing team, aren't they?
Yes, they really are. And this, again, a comment from our observers in the truck. A very tough pass with a slippery ball. Indeed, that's true. And a great catch also. And there is Davis with a great shot. It's superlative city here in the Assembly Hall, right? 59-48. Wesclin's lead has been narrowed to 11. Coming back is Lusk. His shot won't go. Great rebound, Brady. Brady off the glass. Brady is just unstoppable today.
He is tough today.
61-48. Trenton Wesclin from deep in southwestern Illinois, ruling the roost so far in this one with 3:05 to play, Chapter 3. Davidson, the All-Stater from Aurora Christian, dishes off this time to Henning. Henning shot off the glass. When Henning found the range, his second field goal, 61-50, a very entertaining basketball game. One you keep feeling is not over, but every time you see the Aurora Christian challenge, here's Wesclin right back at him.
Some good shooting going on right now.
Really is, and there's Brady with another one. Brady just kind of slips in behind everybody for his 23rd and 24th point. 63-50, and we have a foul called against Fridley. on kind of a token press back there. But that is only the first foul of the second half charged against Trenton Wesclin, whereas 3 have been tagged to Aurora Christian. Jurassic has come in the ball game for Chesney. Quint Henning leaves, and Pavey back in the ball game. Mann, of course, has been out of there a couple of trips down the floor when Smith came back in the ball game. When Mann picked up foul number 4, they played him a couple of trips and then said, hey, we may want to make a run in the fourth quarter. And they're certainly still within range, but they got to play some tough defense, and that's not easy against Trenton Wesclin. Pavey, little fall away on the base, can't get it. Tipped over to Davidson. He'll get it. He does. He went with the right hand there.
He made the good pass to Pavey and then got the ball back and got the bucket.
There's Brink. He tries to answer. Radmeyer pulls it down. He follows. He won't get it. The rebound pulled out of there by Lust. Finally, Davidson. Davidson slaps the ball every time he grabs it. You know who's got possession. You know, it's impressive to see a guy in heavy traffic down here. He's a pure left-hander. Switch hands on that inside play. He can shoot with both hands, at least at short range.
He sure can, and on that rebound, I think he slaps the moisture off the ball, make sure he catches it.
Jurasek rims it. Here's Davidson, and he is fouled. Davidson fouled on the inside by Matt Fridley. On Fridley, it's foul number 3. Mark Davidson, truly a remarkable athlete. We're going to see him next year. There's Paul Lusk, and there's Don Davidson, the 2 coaches involved in this one.
Here's a replay on the action in here. The outside shot missed, and Davidson gets that big left paw on it and tries to take it up, and he's fouled.
Now we're going to go to the other end of the floor and watch the board work.
This is one where Lusk comes up with the basketball inside. Then the rebound by Davidson.
Live action, Davidson nets the free throw at the attacking free throw line of Aurora Christian. It's 63-53, 143 left to go. Third quarter, second throw, no good. Rebound, Pavey. So they traded 1 for 2 in that instant after getting the first free throw. It became a 3-point maneuver for the Eagles, and they're back now again within striking distance. 63-55, 1.5 to go, chapter 3.
Same 8-point deficit at the half, Art.
Yep. Well, they struggled to get back to it, though, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Now they got to get a stop and try to narrow it. Or but Trenton Wesclin, on the other hand, says, "Hey, you're back now within 8. We want to counter that." Here's Lust. Lust inside the arc. Bullseye. Oh, he's a sweet shooter, isn't he?
He's got that shot working right now. He's got confidence, and that's all shooting is when you get in a game like this. You get your confidence, the stroke counts.
Aurora Christian has struggled the whole quarter to get back within 8 points, and then Lust suddenly comes down, puts it back to a 10-point margin as Lambert turns on the hoop, can't get it to drop, and the rebound goes to Mike Brink. Brink for Trenton Wesclin. You wonder how many runs you can make in a high school basketball game, and certainly I know that's got to be the thought going through Don Davidson's mind, the Illinois Wesleyan alum, seated over there on the Aurora Christian bench. Paul Lusk, former St. Louis U Billiken.
Well, you get a run, you'd like to be able to stretch it out as long as you can, especially when you're 10 down.
Here is Paul Lusk well out on the floor. To Brink, back to Lusk. 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. Right side to Matt Fridley. Wesclin following the same pattern end of every quarter. Very patiently looking for that last good shot. And here is Lusk. Lusk in the paint. He got it. Paul Lusk in the paint with his pull-up. He's had a great period. Down to 1 second to go. A long bomb is short, and that's it after 3. And after 3, it's Wesclin back to a 12-point lead. At 67-55. Playing extremely well, making the clutch shots all day. And one of your network sponsors is John Deere. Well, 1 quarter to go in this ball game. We're going to see a replay from up top here, Jim.
That's a little delay game they run. It's open in the middle of the court. Here comes Lusk, drives, penetrates the opening, pulls up, shoots that little short jumper, and gives them that 12-point halftime lead.
Or third quarter lead.
Yeah, third quarter lead. I lost the whole quarter, Art.
Yeah, indeed you did. Well, you'll find it again. 23-point quarter for Aurora Christian. That's the good news as far as the Eagles are concerned. The bad news, they gave up 27. And Paul Lusk went to work in that quarter. The All-Stater had a 15-point stanza. I mean, he really rattled the old cords. And Wesclin leads it by 12. We start the final quarter. Mann's back out there for Aurora Christian. Jurasek and Mann, Davidson. Chesney back on the floor along with Lambert. Chesney with the penetration and got it. Jake Chesney, he's an exciting little ball player when he gets it going.
He's penetrated the seam pretty well.
He's got 15 points in this ball game. Wesclin down, inside, Lusk. Lusk bangs it off, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Chesney. On the game, Paul Lusk overall with 23 points. He had an 8-point first half. Here's Davidson. Rebound, Paul Lusk. Lusk is playing the game at both ends brilliantly. 67-57, Trenton Wesclin trying to drive for a state championship date tonight. Brandmeyer with the layup off a nifty Lusk assist.
How's that for 6'5", handling the basketball and making the pass, Art?
Well, I'm sure that's what Iowa's basketball staff liked in Lusk. In fact, he can handle the ball as well as shoot it. They play a big guard on the college level. Here's Davidson. A blocking foul will be whistled on Matt Brandmeyer, who picks up foul number 4. Jake Chesney on the season for Aurora Christian averages 9.4 points a game, so he is past his scoring norm a little bit. There's your third quarter field goal shooting, 11 of 17 for Wesclin. That's pretty good, 65, but excellent for Aurora Christian as well. So both teams over the 60% plateau in the third period.
That's right, we've got 69-57 early in the fourth quarter.
Well, didn't Frank get the information from Paul Lusk that Lusk won the ball game in the 80s?
That's it.
Jurassic drills it on the perimeter for 3. And that makes it 69-60. And we have a foul called on the inside. This is going to go against Aurora Christian. There's Jurassic. And he picked up the foul.
Here's Lusk from the outside. Nice foul through, good rotation, just a little short. On the rebound, a foul from behind.
I kind of beg your pardon on the pronunciation of Jurassic. I'm sure Jurassic is correct. We called it Jurassic, but Jurassic is the preferred pronunciation there. Done a good job off the bench for Aurora Christian this morning, now this afternoon. Turn around by Fridley, no good. Scramble for it, and Jake Chesney comes up with the ball for the Eagles.
Chance to cut it to 6 or 7 here, Art.
69-60. The lead to Wesclin. His man brings it across to Jurassic. Jurassic bounce pass low, looking for Davidson. The ball knocked away. Loose basketball. Louis Lambert gets in there, dives for the ball. They wrestle it out. Slipping on the floor again was Lusk. Lusk comes up with it finally as Brandmeyer sort of swatted the ball over to him, and Lambert comes back on defense. Here's Brink. Brink number 30. Circles out. You can see him outside the arc. Now he comes inside the arc, as they now move Brandmeyer over on the right side of the floor, and in for the jumper is Lusk. This time it doesn't go. The rebound, Brandmeyer. He's fouled from behind by Jurassic. Mike Jurassic reached over the shoulder and picked up the personal foul.
Wherever there's traffic, Brandmeyer's right in the middle of it, Art.
Yeah, he really is, and he's going to get to the free throw line. Doesn't score much for this ball club, but very, very strong man on the boards. And good defensive ball player. He's averaged only 3 points a game, but he gets almost 5 rebounds each time out, and does the defensive job that Coach Paul Lusk is looking for. And also hits the free throw.
I think he's got a lot of bulldog game. The coach likes that. This kid's going to go hard every minute he's on the court.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Not a real good free throw shooter, 51%, but he just made 2. He didn't exactly squish that one. We didn't hear that string music that time. He kind of rattled it around, but it fell in.
They all count.
71-60, Wesclin back to an 11-point lead, and again they answer. As Aurora Christian made a little run, Chesney again keeps the run going with the 3-point bomb. Jake Chesney, 1, 2, 3, 4 3-pointers for Chesney. 71-63. There's a long shot by Brady. Lusk on the board, went back to the hoop. And it's on man, it's his 5th.
He's heading for the bench as he assumes it's his 5th foul.
Mike Mann fouls out for Aurora Christian with 5:10 to go in the ball game.
Here's a replay on that, Art. Shots up in the air. Here's where the foul occurred.
Yep.
Man slaps him across the wrist and he tried to take the ball up underneath.
Man winds up with 6 for the ball game, fouling out. And his spot will be taken. Quinn Henning comes back in the ball game. So you have Jurasek, also Davidson, Henning, Lambert, and Chesney on the floor. 2 shots coming to Paul Lusk.
I think with this lineup, Coach Davidson will probably get Mark Davidson a little bit more on the perimeter to help Chesney out with the ball handling and the outside shooting.
A lot of time left. It's an 8-point ball game. Second throw is up and in. It's now a 9-point game once again. Paul Lusk, and that's it. Aurora Christian has stayed tantalizingly close in this one, Jim. You know, we're a real good run, and even more importantly, a real good defensive stand. would do the job for him, get him back in. A Davidson shot is no good. The rebound, scramble for it. Recovery in the corner, taken by Brink. Pass deflected away by Chesney. Almost had the steal, but Lusk retrieves on the base. Pulls it up and got it. Oh, what a brilliant ball game Lusk has had. Lusk just a blazing performance now at the 26-point plateau in the contest, 74-63. Back to the 11-point Wesclin lead. They've done it repeatedly all day long. Davidson going to the glass. His shot is up. His shot is out. Quinn Henning tries for the board, among others. He and Lambert were both there, but it was deflected away by the Eagles. The ball goes to Trenton Wesclin.
That action's furious under the basket right now, Art, and both teams are looking tired, but Aurora Christian's just a little tired, especially Mark Davidson.
Upcoming Norris City Omaha infield, pitted against Prairie Central, lower bracket semifinal. The winner to take on the winner of this one for the state championship tonight. Tip it off at 8:15 here in the Assembly Hall. Third place game precedes that. We'll be with you tonight at 6 o'clock with our Before the Tip-Off show. Our guest will be Brian Bloodworth tonight, the sports editor of the Bloomington Pantograph, and we'll talk about this Class A tournament. We've seen some great players down here and have one more great ball game coming up in this session. Here's Lusk. Lusk for Trenton Wesclin. Power move and a foul. Boy, he gets something out of it every time down, doesn't he, Jim?
He takes it strong to the hole. That time Lambert got him with the body a little bit as he started his drive.
The foul on Louis Lambert. Is that a tough thing to teach youngsters to really assert themselves with the basketball? Well, let's talk about that later. We got a timeout for Aurora Christian. They're down 74-63, 3:52 to go. And one of your network sponsors is Country Company.
Here's Paul Lusk on that last drive. Pull up. Nice jumper. Nothing but net, Art.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant ball game. 26 points. We don't have his rebound count, but I'm sure it's up there. It's been just a great all-state performance by Paul Lusk this morning and this afternoon.
It's a great overall team performance by the Wesclin Ball Club at this stage of the basketball game.
No, they're a tough basketball team. Who do they lose to, you say? They lost to Greenville, 68-64, to Charleston, Missouri, 70-61, and to Flora in the finals of the Vandalia Holiday Tournament, 76-64. Of course, they avenged that loss to Flora by knocking off the Wolves in the Super Sectional at Charleston the other night. There's Mr. Lusk at the line. And it looks like his dad doesn't have the little beard that Paul Sr. has. One more throw coming to young Paul. No good, and the rebound again slapped out of there literally by Mark Davidson.
You can hear his rebound, can't you, Art?
Well, you sure can. There's your three-point shooting. Still pretty spectacular. 9 of 19 and 7 of 14. And what do we have here?
Yeah, turnover. I think Davidson making that move down there stepped on the baseline.
So it's 75-63. Time running out on the Aurora Christian bid for a state championship in their second year in the IHSA. I believe it's their second season. They've done pretty well 2 years. Here is Lusk going to the glass. This time he's called for the charge. The Aurora Christian athletic story is an amazing one. They joined the IHSA and made it the Super Sectional last year. Made it to the Elite Eight this year. Going to get no worse than fourth as they're in the final day here. There you see the replay, and Mr. Lusk can take a few people with him, can he?
He does go strongly to the basket. That's sometimes what happens. You get called for a few charges, but the end result most of the time you're going to like.
Davidson went to the basket, and the foul is called on Brent Brady, his second. Brent has been kind of quiet. You know, you say that. He had such a great first half. He scored 8 points in the third quarter. You say he's been kind of quiet. Has not scored as yet in the final period. He only has 24 on the ball game. They've thrown a 27-point assault by Lusk, a 24-point assault by Brady, and a fine Aurora Christian basketball team here today.
They kind of go in individual spurts. It seems like when somebody feels it, they get 2 or 3 buckets in a row, and then somebody else comes along later on and does the same thing.
Aurora Christian will have back next year Mr. Davidson, the guy at the line right now. He's their all-stater. What a starting point. Also, Quinn Henning returns, as does Eddie Smith and Mike Jurassic. So,
cover's not bare.
No, that cover is not bare at all. You may well hear of the Eagles, and of course they're not through for the day yet here either. 3:05 to go in this one. They're down 11, however, and it's been an uphill climb against the Trenton Wesclin Ball Club that appears at this stage in the season to be clicking on all cylinders. They're playing about as well, I think, as you can play at this point in the season.
Looks like Coach Lusk going to take these last 2.5 minutes or so and make Aurora play awfully strong defense and try to get back in it, and they're going to be content to go to the free throw line.
That was Big Davidson flying through the air there, trying for the intercept, and they couldn't come up with it. It was Brink, just a fine playmaking guard. I think you got to really call him the point guard. Lusk is all over the place. When it comes to, if you had to have a guy on the point, I'm sure it would be Brink. But of course, Lusk does so many things for you that they don't really run that kind of a set offense very often. Look at the almost a quadruple team, if you will, on Brink. He still gets it off. Here's Lusk for the layup. He got it. It was fouled.
What they're going to look for the rest of the half or rest of the ball game, just look for that backdoor cut or go to the free throw line.
And we're going to reach the 30-point plateau here if Lusk makes this free throw.
Look at this open up, and look at this pass diagonal right to the basket. Good strong power move. Gets the layup.
Timeout. Quinn Henning will charge with the fouls. We're down to 2:16 to go, and let's pause for these messages. Well, as we come back, there you see the director of the Sherrard Pep Band directing, which is what band directors do and do very well. And his youngsters have put on a great show here at the Assembly Hall already today. They'll be here throughout the day.
And everybody rocking with that last group of numbers, Art.
Yeah, indeed. They have a big drummer over there who really beats the tattoo on that thing. Yeah, biggest bass drum I think I've seen down here for a while. Well, at any rate, back to basketball. Let's get the line. Trying to complete what would be a three-point play and give him 30 for the day. He got it. So that means Lusk, for the 15th time, has reached 30 points or more in the scoring column during this year. Here's Quinn Henning holding. Mark Davidson. Davidson, the lefty at long range. He got a three-pointer by Davidson.
He doesn't need much room, Art. He's got one of the quickest releases I've seen on a three-point shooter.
I was worried that ball was going to be blocked. I really thought somebody would get there and block it, but didn't get the job done. And here on the press, foul against Smith, I believe. Yeah, he picked up. Eddie Smith picks up foul number 2. Mark Davidson, who has had something of an off day for Davidson with 20. You're going to see that shot here, Jim.
Watch the hand quick, but watch the release. The defender has no idea when he's going to release that ball, and he leaves his feet, and then he shoots it when he feels the shot at the zenith of his hand. How about that for terminology?
That's pretty good. Zenith of his hand.
Yeah, there you go.
Could be a song title or something of that sort.
I think I heard that one before.
Lusk made the first throw. He makes the second. 32 for Paul Lusk this afternoon. 80-67. His high water mark of the season, 37th in a single ball game, if memory serves me correctly. We're at 1:44 to close the ball game. Trenton Wesclin now with the 13-point lead. There's Davidson on the perimeter. Can't get it. Smith scrambles for the basketball. Great save by Fridley, but intercepted. Intercepted by Davidson down to Quinn Henning on the drive to the glass, and he got it. Henning's a nice ball player. That's his third bucket, 80-69. 11-point lead to Trenton Wesclin. Been a tough basketball game. Two very, very fine Class A clubs, and a reach-in foul on Jake Chesney out front. His first foul of the ball game. But it seems now the final score is about all that we have to report. Let's see Fridley get into the...
Fridley's working hard. He makes a great save, goes over the bench. I think he injured his left shoulder. He's been holding it since he's come back onto the court, Art.
He flew over the bench. They're going to take him out now as Deiters is going to come back in. Chad Deiters will replace Matt Fridley.
They're going to need Fridley for tonight, but that left arm's hanging down a little awkwardly, so I'm sure they want to check that out.
That's 7-point total. He had one three-pointer. One of several by Trenton Wesclin. At the line is Lusk, and Lusk is popping free throws right and left of this, and have one more throw. He has made 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 out of 16, 18, 14 out of 18, 15 out of 19 for Lusk. 82-69. Stick around for our programming between games. And then, of course, Frank and Jim will be along with Prairie Central and Norris City, Omaha infield. Going to get them all taken care of. Foul call in the defensive zone. And let's see who the first one was whistled at. It's called on Smith once again, Eddie Smith.
Like Deiter's going to shoot this, Art.
Yeah, these Class A towns, particularly the consolidation, these communities takes tremendous pride. You have the same thing up at Prairie Central, of course, with the Forest, Strawn, Wing, Chatsworth, and Fairbury. And we got a timeout taken now. I believe Trenton Wesclin actually took the timeout. At any rate, one of your network sponsors, John Deere. had mentioned 37 was the high water mark for Paul Lusk. I was in error there, Jim. Checking my records, he had 43 against Lebanon in the Vandalia sectional. So his 34-point total today, with 1 minute 7 seconds left, is, well, I guess within shooting distance of that, but he's going to have to have a flurry at the finish, and I have a feeling Trenton Wesclin's got a ball handle out there a little bit. Diders at the line. Chad Diders. Got it. Diders now a 3. To make it 83-69. Trenton Wesclin. Second throw by Diders. Rebound Davidson. Davidson brings the ball up. Now gives it to Jake Chesney. Here's Chesney coming across for the red-clad Aurora Christian Eagles. Nice feed to Henning. Back to Davidson. Davidson fires it up. It won't go at long range. Rebound to Chesney. Chesney got a bundle of three-pointers today. Davidson again. Taken by Smith. Jake Chesney's going to try the 3. Getting a bundle of shots here, but finally Brink comes up with the basketball. Deflected to him. Chesney on the ball game has a total of 18 points for Aurora Christian, and here's a steal by the Eagles. Three-pointer is no good by Davidson. He was about 25 feet on that one. Gets the ball back, goes down the lane, underhand finger roll. So that'll put Davidson at 22 points. At this point in the ball game, Chesney went down on the slippery floor and shaken up just a little bit with 21 seconds left to go in the ball game.
Here's the last play. Ball on the floor, kicked out. Davidson picks up. Nice move for the left-hander. Comes in with the right-hand finger roll.
Davidson with 22 points, and we had a foul call as Aurora Christian now going to clear its bench. There we see Matt Fridley is back out on the floor. Matt came back in after going over the bench just a moment ago and hitting his shoulder a little bit. Aurora Christian regulars coming out, and quickly, Louis Lambert had 4 today, Tim Pavey 2, Mark Davidson 22, Mike Mann 6, Jake Chesney had 18, Quinn Henning 6 off the bench, Jurassic had 9 off the bench, Eddie Smith was 4. Those kids will be back battling for third place tonight, and you can bet they'll come to play in that ball game. School with just a very, very young IHSA history, and they've had known nothing but success.
They have an excellent program. Coach Davidson does a great job, and they've got nothing to be ashamed of losing to a fine Trenton Wesclin team.
Only losses during the regular season in LaSalle, Peru, 82-70, and to Elgin, 66-64, both in the DeKalb Holiday Tournament. Elgin won a sectional last night, so they're still alive, and LaSalle, Peru was ranked as high as, I think, 12th in the state, maybe even a little higher earlier in the season. Brink steps to the free throw line, where he has a total of 9 points on the afternoon. 34 for Lusk, 24 for Brent Brady. Brink's free throw will not go down. Rebound is controlled, taken out of there by Greg Schroeder. Over the timeline with 15 seconds, here is number 31, Mike Challey with the basketball, sliding the baseline. Shot will not go down. Rebound control. The shot was taken there by Bob Van Ploeg. Here is Brink up the floor quickly with 4 seconds left. Right side, a jumper is not going to go. The shot was taken on the perimeter and missed by Bob Wickman. And the basketball game is in the books in the upper bracket semifinal here in the Assembly Hall, where Trenton Wesclin impressively withstood run after run after run by Aurora Christian throughout the afternoon, and they walk off the floor a victor by a score of 83-71, and will have a date with either Norris City, Omaha Infield, or Prairie Central tonight for the Class A State Basketball Championship. One of your network sponsors, Country Company.